Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Nurse Charms Live. I am your host, Nurse Charms, and we are live. Um, we're gonna have a great show. I know you see my guests on the panel. I'm gonna be introducing them shortly. Um, for everyone, I want to say thank you. First off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in live. And I want you to drop me a hashtag live in the comments so I know that you're here with me live. And also feel free to say what you're representing. And I know there's going to be some of us who will be joining us on the replay. So if you're joining us on the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I know that you are checking us out later. So I hope that everyone can hear me loud and clear. If not, let me know. And I'll try to troubleshoot things on my end. So I just want to get started first by having each one of my panelists introduce themselves. I want you to tell me their name, their leadership conversation, and their political party. So let's just get started with Tasha.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be back on Nurse Charm. My name is Tasha Young, as many of you know. I am actually a women's empowerment coach. I'm also a nurse, and my political affiliation shifted many moons ago. I fell for the Democratic liberal scam, and I finally woke up to actually voting along policies and values. And so the last election, I voted for Donald Trump.
All right. Emery, give me your name, your political experience level, and your political party.
All right, my name is Emery Northington. I am a independent, so I am one of those people who just I see. I guess I'm. I guess we can say something about Donald Trump and say we see good things on both sides. But my thing is, it's all about the betterment of the people, and that's what I'm here for. So, yep, that's what I do.
All righty. And Jerry, go
Well, my
ahead.
name, my name is Jerry Flindale. I am the pioneer of Detroit hip hop. I was the first person to record hip hop in Detroit. And my political views is I certainly would never vote for Donald Trump or anyone in the Republican Party. Donald Trump is the scum of the earth. And I think you have to be an idiot to vote for someone who every last one of their businesses has always failed, but yet you claim and still they are a businessman, failed businessman. We're in a pandemic because of this idiot.
All right. Well, thank you, panel, for those introductions. So, tonight's show, we're going to talk about the rising gas prices and what solutions, if any, can be done to ease the pain at the pump. Right now, gas prices on average are 4.94, 4.96, something like that for regular gas. If you go to some membership places like Costco, Sam's Club, they may be a little bit cheaper, but on the other hand, prices are way up to $5.40 or higher. So President Biden has said that this is unacceptable, and he's proposing a gas tax holiday. So I want to know all of your thoughts on that. But first, give us some education because there's this notion that
Mm.
mom and pop gas stations are gouging. Then we hear prices are up because of the Russia versus Ukraine war and the loss of Russia giving us fuel. But we also hear it's the oil market demand versus supply. And the oil refinery executives are charging high prices to produce gas. So let's just give some explanation for what the heck is going on with gas prices. Who wants to get started?
Looks
Tasha,
like,
go for it. You
okay.
want? Okay.
Based off of what I understand, crude oil prices affect gas prices. And like you said, that can be based on supply and demand. There's also geopolitical issues that affect gas prices. Of course, with the Russian sanctions that affected imports of oil to Europe. Then you have Saudi Arabia, OPEC. It gets a little bit deeper than I care to read more about, but that's what they say caused the gas prices.
Okay. What's your explanation of these high gas prices, Emery?
That I mean, Tasha kind of hit it on the head. I mean, OPEC is. I mean, first things first, we got to look at OPEC. They're their own political entity. They run all of this stuff. So
Hmm.
it has, as much as Biden wants to do some things about it, he really is powerless to stop all of this. To be honest with you, I also would say that this has a lot to do with as I told my dad, the paradigm shift. This is basically just saying this is a way for us to start to transform into a more sustainable economy, things of that nature, along with EVs and things of that nature. So I think this is really more of a paradigm shift that we have to hit in order to go move forward.
I agree. That was a good point. Yeah.
Um, okay, Jerry, what is your understanding?
He might be muted. He's
Jerry,
muted. He's muted.
unmute your mic. You're muted. We can't hear you. Jerry, we can't hear you. He's saying, hold on 1 second. Um, so yeah, you all bring up some basically some comments
I'm back on now.
okay. Okay, so go ahead and give your explanation for
Well, one thing that President Biden did to try to relieve pressure at the pump is he released 1 million barrels of oil a day. And with that being said, the refineries slowed down even the 1 million barrels a day to suppress that to make the oil prices go up because um, it's a lot of speculators on the open stock market who is investing money in this and they run the gas prices up as well, the oil prices up as well. And then we have to factor in for the last 2 years we've been under COVID. So OPEC in the like wasn't making any money. So at this particular point, it's like, okay, we wasn't making any money. We're gonna make sure we get all that money back. So that's what happened. And we in a global pandemic and we in a global recession still right now. All these prices are high around the globe, not just here in America.
okay, we're gonna talk about the recession a little bit later. So with all that being said, what solutions do you see to fix this, or can it even be fixed? Because Biden's calling for the federal gas tax holiday, which many people are saying that it isn't in the best idea, and essentially it's going to be dead on arrival because it's going to pull out funds from the highway trust funds. So let's just first off discuss what this gas tax holiday actually is, and then I want all of you all to chime in where you can. And it's important. So who wants to discuss what this gas tax?
It's supposed to be an 18-cent reduction on the current gas prices over a certain period of time, I believe a few months. I don't personally see how it's going to improve the economy. I don't see where it's going to have an impact at the micro macro. personal level economically at all. People saving 18 cents on gas with unaffordable housing and all the other things that we have to deal with, how that's going to help. And then we have issues with infrastructure. And do we want to really take away from that?
Okay. Um, Emery, what are your thoughts on this gas
I would tell you all day long. There's no short term solution to this. This has everything to do just what Tosh was talking about, infrastructure, or in this case, lack thereof.
Hmm.
We have to now start thinking about mass transit, light rail, things of that nature. Once again, remember, paradigm shift. We are here. This is not going to, I don't understand what President Biden's trying to do, but this is not a fix that's going to happen overnight. So I think the infrastructure bill and things of that nature has to be this way. It has to go down this way. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay, Jerry, what are your thoughts?
Well, Governor Whitmer has talked about taking the gas tax away, which would be 36 cents, and if Biden do 18%, that's a substantial drop as far as the gas is right now. I mean, when you start talking about 60 cents in the gas being lowered, that's a lot, 60 cents. Anybody, everybody wants 60 cents. If you go to Sam's Club or BJ's or Costco and you get an additional 60 cent savings, we bid a dollar savings. And the thing about the infrastructure of the houses, why are these houses high? Why? Because you have these spec investors who are trying to turn all these houses into Airbnbs, trying to raise up the prices of these houses, and this, that, and the other. And there needs to be something done upon this, done about this. This is ridiculous.
Okay, so let's get into inflation because you did mention inflation. So are the ripple effects of all of this inflation gonna cure itself? Because all the experts and economists are predicting that we're either in a recession or months away from a recession. So let's just get into the concerns about the prolonged inflation and what it will do to the economy. So go ahead, Jerry. You start with your thoughts on that.
We've been in a recession for the last 2 years. 2 years up under Donald Trump, people did not have jobs when COVID started. No one was working for months. And a recession is where you are not working for months on end. People are not working for months upon months upon months on end. This is not a new phenomenon. Once again, there has Donald Trump has never ran any corporation or business that have not failed. If you show me companies upon companies that Donald Trump has ran that have been successful, I will apologize. They all have failed. It's an illusion. Donald Trump has built-in obsolescence in his businesses where he could walk away with millions of dollars and everybody else is going to be holding the bag.
So,
That's a fact.
Jerry, it has President Biden has been in office for 2 years, but you're still steady blaming Donald Trump for
Yeah,
this.
it started on his watch. COVID started on his watch. This recession started on his watch. The global pandemic started on his watch, and this is a continuation of that.
So if that's the
And,
case,
let me make another
why
statement.
is
And
why
Donald Trump, hold on,
if you vote if how is it that a president has been in office for 2 years and you're still blaming the president before? So what has the president in office done? If you're
because we was already unemployment was already happening up under Donald Trump. We was already in a recession up under Donald Trump. Housing, how there was already a housing bubble. I'm an appraiser by trade, okay? So I know we were in a housing bubble. This continuation of these houses going up and up and up, like in 2001 through four, cannot continue to happen. And I knew it couldn't continue to happen. And I've been talking about this was a housing bubble. Now it's at its tail end. And this all happened up under Donald Trump's watch. It's like before, it happened up under George Bush's watch. And we keep failing to realize every time there's ever been a Republican in office in the history of the United States of America, it is always in a recession or a bad economy. You can go all the way back to Lincoln. If anybody else want that information, I'll send it to them. Let me repeat this again. Every president, every Republican president we've ever had, there's always been a recession, there's always been a war, or it always has been a pandemic or something happened to the economy. Those are facts. We cannot go around that.
Okay, so Obama was in office from 2008 to Trump, and did we not have a pandemic called H1N1?
No, that was not a pandemic.
That was declared a pandemic.
That was not declared a pandemic.
It was declared a pandemic. I'm a
No,
nurse.
it was not declared a pandemic.
That was declared. That was declared a
No,
pandemic.
it was not a pandemic.
Okay.
I guarantee you, it was not a pandemic.
H1N1 was a pandemic.
It was not a pandemic. Please
What
stop
was
with
it?
the cap.
What was it?
I'm going to deal
What
with
was
facts
it?
here. I'm going to deal with facts. It was not a pandemic.
Okay, so CDC is lying.
It was not a pandemic. Send me that information where the
Go into the CDC
how about this?
website. Go into the CDC
How
website.
about
Give me the
this?
information where the whole entire United States shut down.
How about this?
It did
How
not
about
shut
this?
down. It was not a pandemic.
It was a pandemic,
No,
but it didn't
No,
shut down.
it was
Oh.
not.
Okay, so
Those are lies. It was not.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the CDC website.
Please pull
Okay.
it up. It was not a
Okay.
pandemic.
okay,
It
so
it certainly wasn't a global pandemic, and we know that for a fact. We have not. It was not a pandemic. Last pandemic we had.
Okay, if you go on
pandemic
cdc.gov, cdc.gov, it says
it was not.
it's on the website for
Hey
anybody.
Tasha, how about this?
We can-
Hey Tasha, give me a
we
second.
can-
Hey Jerry,
we can make
Jerry.
up stuff all we
Hey
want
Jerry,
to.
Okay.
hey Jerry, question for you, real quick for you. So you say it was not a pandemic, yes? You say it was not a pandemic?
Absolutely, it was not a
H1N1?
pandemic.
Okay, fair enough. Tasha, what's your point?
The point is that it was a pandemic, and he said that under
It's not.
every
It
Republic,
wasn't a pandemic.
the CDC website shows it as a pandemic.
Let's stop lying. There is no president. When the last time we had a president? Name the president who got in front of the United States of America and said we was in a pandemic outside of this. Outside
Barack
of Donald
Obama
Trump.
doing
Okay.
the H1N1.
Okay. No. No.
hold on.
Lies.
Okay, we're gonna move.
Lies.
We're gonna move past this debate. Was it a? Continue to make your point, Tasha.
Okay, so what he just said, he just debunked himself, because under President Obama we did have a pandemic. That's my point. So he's not giving you true information.
Those are lies. Those are lies.
Okay, so
That's
here's,
a lie.
let me step in real quick, okay? Let me step in. Okay, so first things first, I would say this. Despite whatever happened, both President Trump and President Obama dealt with a health crisis. Let's just round it off there and say that, okay? Now,
okay,
let's do it that way. Now, as it relates to what we were initially talking about was inflation. Yes, I literally just talked to one of my coworkers about it, and it had everything to do with the fact that you normally, when you happen to have a new president, you are taking the economic and all the other issues from the past president for the first year. Same thing along with Donald Trump, he did the same thing. And remember, Obama's economy was going through the roof, literally the greatest in U.S. history. That was from 17 to 18. Late 18, here comes the tax reform, right? And then once you had a tax reform, that carried over through 19, and then we had the pandemic. So Trump was riding an economic wave that was started by Obama. So I get where Jerry's coming from. Also, we got to consider, yes?
Okay, so what he's saying is not correct, because, and this is information from the White House, during the third quarter of 2020, the pandemic, the economy grew at a rate of 33.1%, the most rapid GDP growth ever recorded. So what he's saying about the economy and Biden picking up something that Trump left is false information.
No, it's not.
True. That's not
No,
true.
it's not. It's not true.
This is on the White House website.
It's not.
So if we're going to debate facts,
it's not true.
I'm giving you authoritative information.
Can I explain?
This is on the White House website.
Don't lie to me.
If y'all
Please,
going to debate me, y'all need to provide.
Okay.
I am providing information and sources.
Ma'am.
Primary sources.
Do you have any economic background? Have you ever taken? Have
That's
you
not
taken
what
a
this
Series
debate
7?
is
this?
No, no,
about.
no, no,
We're
no,
not.
no, 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 no. Have you ever taken a Series 7 license test or license? Have you?
I
Have you
haven't.
ever done that?
I haven't.
Pardon me? You
I
okay?
haven't.
Thank you. Okay.
So what does that have to
That's
do with
that
you
that
not
that's
providing
that's
correct
that's
information?
that's
Hey,
that's
Tasha.
what I thought. That's what I thought. But go ahead.
Okay, so I guess one thing I would say is that let me jump in real quick. The thing is that Tasha, you were saying that what Biden picked up and it was growing. Guess what? We remember economic numbers can be fudged. Well,
No, no,
whatever.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
We're not going to
Tasha,
do
Tasha,
economic. No.
Tasha. I'm
If
not
y'all
doing
going to
that, Tasha.
provide disputes,
Tasha, I'm not
y'all
doing
need to
that.
have
Tasha,
resources.
I'm not doing that.
No,
All I'm
you're not
saying,
going to debate
I'm
me and not have
I'm not
resources
doing.
like
I'm
I'm
not
bringing.
debating you. I'm not
The
debating
White
you.
House, the
I'm
White
not.
House says
Tasha,
this.
I'm not debating
I'm
you.
not.
All
I'm
I'm
not
trying,
debating
I'm
you.
not
This is
So
debating you.
what?
hold on.
Okay, so
This is not a
what
Can
you
let
debate.
me
said
finish
was
my
This
point?
incorrect,
Can
this is
I
and
not a
finish
what
my
he
debate.
point?
said was
This
incorrect.
this is this is a dissertation. This is not a debate. I'm not debating you. I'm giving you a
You
dissertation.
can never
Okay.
debate me.
I'm giving.
Okay?
No, no,
You
no.
can never. A
No.
black
I don't.
man
I
who
don't.
votes
I,
for a
I
racist
don't. I
president
don't
can
devote.
never debate me.
I don't debate people without facts. I'm giving you a dissertation.
You don't have any
Okay.
facts. You
I'm
have
giving you a
emotions.
dissertation.
You
No,
have emotions.
I'm giving you. Okay. I'm giving you a dissertation.
Hey,
Okay.
hold on.
Listen. We're gonna
Come
rein
on,
this in,
hold on, come
okay?
on.
Because we need to, we are live. People are listening.
Have
So
your sources is all I'm saying.
All
okay,
I'm saying is don't lie.
okay.
Don't
So
lie.
You
listen.
tell the CDC that.
Stop lying.
Tell the
Okay. Stop lying.
CDC that.
Stop
Okay,
lying to
How
these
about
people.
this? Let's not insult each other. We're just having a conversation here, and we're basically trying to figure out how do we solve these problems. No matter think about this. This is something I tell politicians all the time. They say here you have people say, "Oh, I can do this," or "I've done that," and all this type of stuff. "Oh, I've got this amount of money, and I brought this amount of money. I've done all this type of stuff." But the fact still remains we're here. So how do we fix the problem, which was what Nurse Charm said initially? So that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to go back and forth throwing
Yeah, but
barbs
you
at each
can't
other.
debate when I bring sources or you become
I
very
understand that. So
Okay.
now
impressive.
It's
I
not
want to know
emotional.
your. So
I have a
now,
question. Sir, I have a question for her.
So that's where we can start. We
Tasha,
can
Tasha,
start when I provide a source.
name
You
me.
don't dispute the source.
I'm gonna give you a source. Name me any business that Donald Trump has ever ran
He
that has
has
been successful.
500 businesses. You want me to pull
Name
them up?
me the businesses that Donald Trump has not
How do you
failed.
define?
Excuse me,
Well,
has not failed.
first of
All
all,
Donald Trump. Donald Trump been
okay,
in bankruptcy. Most of his companies have been in
that's
bankruptcy. Do
false.
you not?
That's
Okay.
false.
So
Okay, that's
Donald Trump
false.
business has never been in bankruptcy? Never
here,
been in bankruptcy? Are you
That's
kidding
false.
me?
Exactly. That's
Oh,
false.
okay. So Donald Trump never filed for bankruptcy ever.
He files bankruptcy once.
Oh my God.
listen
He,
here,
Stop it.
listen
he
here.
Stop.
has over
No,
500
hold
no,
on,
businesses.
no, no,
hold on.
no.
Listen.
I'm
Let's
not sure how you.
And they
I'm gonna have
failed.
to mute somebody's mic
Go
in
ahead.
a second, okay? First off, you're taking us way off Trump, way off
He's
track.
too emotional.
Okay,
No, I'm
yes.
not emotional. I'm
You're
giving you
too
facts.
emotional. You ain't
I'm
giving
giving you
facts, dude. Be
okay, fine.
quiet. Be
Fine.
quiet.
No, you be quiet.
Listen, hold on. We're gonna talk to everyone respectfully, okay? And I want to be able to give each of you all a chance to articulate your arguments. So, Tasha, Jerry, you have already spoken. So, Tasha, explain to us what's going on with the economy. Are we in a recession? Are we nearing
Yes.
a recession?
Yeah,
And
we in a recession.
what are we gonna do to get a hold of what's going on with all of this high inflation, food, gas? Talk to us, Tasha.
Where
Can
you
you?
get
Well,
Well,
we
let me jump in. Okay, so first things first, as far as how we're going to get all this stuff together. First things first, along with the well, not would say recession, but we also got to talk about the pandemic. This has been a complete disaster. Not saying the response, but now trying to repair everything. So when you happen to have all these people who were laid off or not working, and then you also you understand that once that happened, a lot of people didn't go back to work because they found other jobs or even better jobs or it's or certain things of that nature. We now have an issue as far as shipping. So we can't even get things that were made from overseas over here. There's a bottleneck over in the port of LA, the port of New Jersey. I'm in the industry right now. I'm suffering because of it. All these things are happening. I think what happens though, in order for us to do this, we have to, just like we've been going back and forth, we have to figure out and use this type of this type of energy to create to have more creative methods to solve this problem. Once again, I will be the first to tell you, there's no overnight fix with this. This is going to be a long-term fix that will probably send us into a recession. So I would think that, I mean, and I'm sorry, I don't have the answers. I would love, that's the reason why I'm here. I want to hear everyone's point of view as it relates to how do we fix this. But from
Andy,
my point of view, it's not going to be just an overnight
I
fix.
apologize. The face and the name isn't clicking right.
Tasha, so go ahead. Are there any laws that they can make um against some of these oil? So are we blaming the oil refineries for the high gas prices, or are we blaming the supply and demand? But I mean, like, first things first, we gotta get this high gas prices. We gotta get that under control. I mean, like, it's been what? It just keeps creeping up. Like, literally 3 months ago, it was like 50 cents lower. So, and it just keeps creeping up. So let's address what are we gonna do about this high inflation gas prices.
okay, hold on, Sherm. Can you excuse me for a moment? I'm down here at the draft party, and I need to get into this VIP suite. So hold on one second.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
You should have. You,
I hope the Pistons pick Ivy, man. I think they'll
okay, hold on. Now,
definitely up next.
this is my man right here with the Pistons right
How you
here.
guys
So,
doing?
Jay
so you
Nivey,
gotta,
baby. Jay
you gotta,
Nivey.
you gotta. Hold on. He can hear you now. You gotta talk to the powers
How
that
you
be.
guys doing?
Hey, we're doing excellent. Thanks for
Good. Well, we're on the clock right now, so hoping we take Jaden Ivey right here, but who knows what Troy's gonna do.
Come on, baby.
All right.
I know.
All
Okay,
right.
hold on one second, guys. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Tasha.
Well, gas is just one piece of the economic
Real quick.
puzzle.
Hey, Tasha, real quick.
Uh-huh.
It was a pandemic.
We know.
I'm just saying. It was a pandemic.
So
It was a pandemic. He had two of them. It was a pandemic. I got
right.
it. Right.
So
I'm sorry.
So our economy has to be looked at holistically. The way the American economy has been running for probably close to 100 years needs to be in question. We need to kind of look at economic policy in terms of printing money. So it's a lot of different things that led up to where we are. And it's not just gas, it's not just wars. We need to look at, if it's gas and wars, we need to start being more diplomatic. We need to kind of take a holistic look at policymakers and the decisions that they make, and understand that when we vote people a certain way, we have to think, now, if you vote a certain party in office, this is how they see the economy. They want to raise corporate taxes. So what impact does that have? Biden repealed tax rates. That has an impact on the economy because corporations are the largest employers for Americans. 80% of the people who work for the people that Trump gave the tax cuts to. So we have to start looking at corporations and tax breaks for corporations as how does it help the economy? Does it add to growth? We have to look at how we're spending. We have a $30 trillion debt. So which party loves debt? Which party is debt averse? We have a military industrial complex. You have Biden send $800 million to fight in this proxy war. So we have to look at how we make economic decisions, and the different parties make economic decisions, and how it will land us right where we are today if we don't, vote the right people in office.
Some people were saying that the handouts, the government handouts have been a huge factor in why we are, headed towards the recession. People were saying, like, we knew this all along. We knew that, giving out the free money. But I mean, people needed it. So it's like a double-edged sword. So, I mean, what is your opinion on that, on the, all of the money that was given out?
Well, how about this? I would say that I would say that what we have to look at more than anything else is that, and Tasha made some valid points, is that we do have to look at our spending as a country, not just individuals, we spend so much on certain things that doesn't benefit us in the long run. Just like she made mention of the military industrial complex. That is real. And the thing is, 700 billion dollars, and we have the largest military of anybody combined. Oh, we picked them. I was like, yes, yes. I'm sorry. We got Jay Ivy. Okay, sorry. I had to say that. All right, great. Awesome. Awesome. So the thing is that when it comes down to it,
We got our
we
boy.
have to look at, yeah, we got
We
it.
got our
So
player.
the thing
We
is
good,
that
right?
we have to look at so
Yeah,
many other
this is
things as far
good.
as
This is
corporate
good.
tax
This is
breaks.
good
Just like
right
you
Great
look
here.
at
take, great take.
Rock Mortgage right now asking for, they're building a skyscraper. So yeah, we need some tax breaks. For what? It's like those type of things. It's like, you know what? And I would use the city of Detroit for example. Remember, there was $600 million worth of people were overtaxed by $600 million. Let's round off almost $1 billion. People lost their homes, and now and it was by a predatory lending, and it was from a guy like Dan Gilbert. I'm not pointing the finger at him, but the industry in which they use predatory lending. This is one factor. When it comes down to it, now you're saying I took all the homes, the city got overtaxed. Now they're not giving the money back, and you want me to give you a tax abatement? What the
Man,
hell is that all
can
about? Say,
can can
you can give tax abatements to everyone else.
can I
Yeah, go
chime
ahead,
in? Can I
Jay.
chime in here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what's up,
What
man?
you said is okay. Let me make a small correction. What happened was during the before the recession, the first economic meltdown and recession we had.
Hmm.
Kwame was in office, and what Kwame did is Kwame did a bond. He sold these bonds.
I know.
Bonds become doable. Okay,
Hmm.
so it had nothing to do with predatory lender. It had to do with he had these bonds that he sold. Detroit was supposed to be this big mecca city, and what happened was the economy crashed, and we couldn't make payment due on those bonds. So that led us in billions and billions and billions, probably like $30 billion in bonds
We're
when it
close to it, but that's not entirely accurate. I was at the table working in the mayor's office when
right.
all that
But
happened,
I'm
so
saying
it's a little bit more
far
different than
as far as me being an appraiser,
that.
and I had to be able to appraise these houses based upon the economic value of Detroit, based upon we were supposed to be this big world class city, which we didn't. It didn't pan out, and those bonds became doable. And when it crashed, Detroit didn't have no money to pay for the bonds. Right? We didn't have no money to
Well,
pay for them bonds. We
well,
didn't have
okay, well,
$18 billion, did we?
Well, no, let me explain this to you. And I was using the city of Detroit as a microcosm of the U.S. inflation. But to answer the question, I will do that. And I apologize, Mr. Shire. I apologize. I'm not trying to go off topic. I'm staying here, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that what ended up happening was they said we were $18 billion worth of debt. That's not true, because you also got to look at the capital investments, and this is the biggest thing they looked at. They looked at the pension and said we were in debt. That's not true. We got billions of dollars in there. The reason why they said we were in debt because they joined the city's pension with the state's pension, which removed the opportunity to pay off the money that we needed. We were never $1 billion of debt. Just imagine the capital investments for the water department was $12 billion itself. So that $18 billion, 12 of that came from there, and it was basically the equivalent of someone having a $500,000 mortgage. And Jerry, you should know this. You're in the game. The thing is, if someone comes to you and knock on your door and say, "Hey, Jerry, you know what? You got this $500,000 mortgage. You need to pay it today, or you're in foreclosure." That's how they did the city. So that's how that is. Now, going back to the United States, we have so many things we have to clean up. Whether it's education, I will say this: Ron DeSantis. I'm an independent. Ron DeSantis brought us something I really support, and it was about him talking about introducing financial literacy in schools, which I think is going to start next year. Why is it taking this long for that? That should have happened 60 years ago. Once
Right.
again, our spending, our habits, all of these things have to start from a micro standpoint because we're constantly living in a macro standpoint and thinking like, oh, everything's going to be fine because we're United States. The thing is, we definitely have to reel in our spending. That's one small portion of how we fix things.
You can't hear us, Jerry, you can't hear us?
Jerry, you can hear us?
I don't know what's going on. Can you hear us
Jerry?
now?
Oh, I guess he's gonna log back on or whatever. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so yeah, so what are we gonna do to get out of this world crisis right now? I mean, you're down there in Mexico. I mean, we got immigrants, crossing the border. Um, so what are some of your thoughts on that? We got an unsecure border right now.
Well,
Okay. Well,
thank Biden for
go
that.
ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
Well, you
ahead. Go ahead.
thank Biden for that because Trump had, really strengthened the immigration policies to a large extent, and the border crossings were low, and so now, they're very high, and because he repealed a few things, Biden just kind of came in and undid a lot of things that were actually good for the country, uh, just to make a political statement, and that's one of the issues we're having, Charmaine, is it seems like the powers that be in the Democratic Party, they're not really making decisions that are in the best interest of America. They're making like retaliatory decisions, and instead of saying, okay, well, we may not like Trump, but this policy could benefit America, they're going to make it. It seems like their whole life right now is to undo everything he's done, even if it was a very good thing for the country, just to prove a point and to the detriment of America.
Right. I mean, we got the baby formula shortage. I mean, it's just like one thing after another.
Hmm.
I don't know if any other time this forecast. Jerry, can you speak on that since you're a supporter?
What I can hear you a little bit. I had to charge this phone up,
Okay.
and I got to get back to I got to get to the suite. I wish y'all all could have came to the suites at the Little Caesars Arena. Charm, you know you had a ticket to come down here. I don't know why you're not here.
Yeah, I have to catch you next time. I missed that tonight.
Well,
But
the next time we have a game, you're welcome to come to the Bats Club. We can debate politics. You can pay for my Starbucks, and it'll be all good.
all right, so are you tuning out or are you staying with us? What are you doing?
Yeah, I got to get to this suite, and I will come. I will come back in a few minutes.
Okay.
The
All
hour
right.
before. Okay, thanks,
Okay.
Nurse Sharm.
All
Okay,
right.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Go ahead, Emery.
okay. So, yeah. I mean, put it this way. I think we all like to talk about policy and things of that nature. Yes, I think Tasha was saying something about the border. I think from an economic standpoint, that's not the problem. Um, I get where you're coming from. Yes, so we have to secure our borders without question. Now, whether they're being secured now or they have been or whatever, I can't tell you. I'm not going to debate anybody. I'm not here to do that. What I am here as it relates to this platform is to try to bring some form of solutions. And just now that we're talking a bit with more clarity, wink, wink, if you will. The thing is that we just have to really think about how how can I put this? We have to be energy deficient. I mean, not deficient, but we have to
Independent.
be independent. That's what I'm sorry. Independent. We have to be. People don't remember the name Nikola Tesla. You remember his last name, but not his first. The thing is, this guy was literally the godfather of renewable energy and things of that nature. These are things that we do need to tap into, geothermal things of that nature. Once we start to be more energy dependent on ourselves, or independent, if you will, that's when you'll see a more prosperous economy because now you have other companies coming in to sustain that type of that field. And I see it's a small inkling of that happening, but we have to get up and start ramping this bad boy up because right now I will probably say that it's been a long time since I had to really not kind of not worry, but have a reason for concern. And in my lifetime, and this is it's inching up to like, damn, I got to worry about some other stuff. I just think at the end of the day, we have a lot of work to do. I will be the first to tell you, people may not like it. Biden might need another term. I don't like it. He might need another term to even get this back on the road.
Absolutely not. Trump made we were independent energy and we were in gas independent under Trump. He was starting that process, and again, Biden came and undid it. So we don't need if Biden stays in office even 2 more years, the way he manages this country, and you're worried, and you're talking about maybe he need another term with all this
Well,
going on. He's been
I will
saying
tell you that.
reckless things that maybe
What,
causing World War III. He's saying stuff across the world that's got people ready to push buttons. And you talking about
what,
maybe we need another term in this
well,
man?
let me retort. The thing is that people said the same thing about Obama, and when his last term had the economy booming. I'm not sitting here saying
No,
that he can fix
he
it.
helped
No,
destroy this
Tasha,
country
hold on,
too.
Tasha. We just talking. I'm not Jerry. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I got you. You passed, and I understand that. I ain't here to fight you. You know, so I swear to God, I'm not here to fight you. What
I'm
I'm
not here to
explaining,
fight you either. I'm just asking you a question.
but once
Like,
again,
are you
I'm just.
thinking that through? You
Am I thinking
are
it
you
through?
thinking what you just said through?
Have I
We're,
thought it
we're,
through?
we're at the edge of a possible World
Oh,
War
okay, so
III
hold
because
first
of the
things first.
president
If you're
we
gonna
have,
ask
and
me
you
a
talking about
question,
another
if you're
term?
gonna ask me a question, let me finish and let me answer the question.
Okay, go
Okay,
Okay,
answer
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Let me
go.
ask the question because now at this point, I thought it was Jerry. Now I'm kind of looking at you now. Like I'm like, all
You
right,
can
why
look
are
at me
we
all
really
you want. I'm
combative now?
looking at you too.
That's
Nobody's
cool,
taking this
and that's cute.
personal. Tasha just asked you. Nobody's
I
taking
know
it.
I can't answer questions. She can't
Okay,
answer me one
so
But
question
why
let's
are you taking
question.
it personal?
Why I'm not taking it personal. I'm trying
I
to
just
answer a
asked you
question.
what would
You
make you
still
say something
talking?
like
Can I
that.
answer the question?
yes.
Please answer it.
Okay.
Do it. There we go. You said, did I think it through? Yes, I have. What I'm explaining to you is that right now, here's the big problem. If we happen to start switching back and forth, we'll never get anything fixed. You know what I'm saying? I was even thinking about Trump actually, as far as him going for the second term. Things didn't work out. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's like if we go from Trump to Trump and maybe Biden again or whoever the hell, we will never get there. So my question is, that's the reason why I thought it through. So we won't keep going and saying, I can fix it this way. So I'm gonna tear down the last person's stuff and then I'm gonna fix it this way. Then the next person comes down, I'm gonna tear it down that way. And we're still stuck in the same place. So I bet one thing I would tell you, Tasha, I think about everything I say. And I'll be the first to tell you, at this moment, unfortunately, and I'm not a proponent of Biden. I am not. Right now, what's the alternative? Tearing thing what Biden did down and then starting all over again, only to dig
Yes.
another hole?
Yes. No, there's not digging another hole. Impeach this man.
Impeach him for what?
Listen,
Now you getting personal.
Impeach him for what? Him,
Yeah,
his,
now you
and
getting
him
personal.
and his
Now you
son
getting personal.
colluded in Ukraine.
We're
They
talking
colluded
about
in
inflation.
Ukraine. They went to Ukraine and started more problems and got paid.
so here's the thing, Emery. You agree that Biden needs another term. Are you aware that
No,
his
no, no, no. No,
own
no.
party,
I'm
his
sorry.
own party doesn't even agree with that?
Right.
No, no, I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying that
About it.
he may need that. I'm not saying that would be the best thing to go. I'm
According
just
to
saying that he may
who?
need that.
May
But I'm
need it
listening.
for what? Because you don't think people can come in and fix stuff? Trump came in and in 4 years fixed a lot of stuff.
No,
In
he
4 years.
No, he didn't. No, he
Okay,
didn't.
Charmaine, how much time can I read all the things some major
I could
accomplishments
do
he's
a
done
whole
for
bunch of
the
stuff.
country?
My thing is, I'm not sitting here saying he didn't. Listen, he fixed many things. I'm not saying that.
He
As
fixed
it
a
relates to the
lot.
economy, as it relates to the economy, and listen, I'm
Economy,
gonna talk.
everything,
I
labor,
am not here to
everything,
talk about.
taxes.
What I won't do. I'm not going to turn this into a Biden Trump thing. I'm talking about the economy. Stay on course.
I'm
Let's do
talking
that.
about the economy
That's
too.
not economy.
What
We're
do you
talking
mean it's
about
not
what Trump
economy?
did. Trump's not the president anymore. How do we fix it, Tasha? How do we fix it?
We
How
impeach
do we fix
Biden
it?
and get him out of office before he have World War III and nuclear war start. Because I'm serious. I don't think people understand because if you study what's going on around the world and the things he's saying and the things that he's doing, all he's doing is lining the East and the South up against the West. And so he's putting us in a very vulnerable place politically, every kind of way you can think. That he can't even talk in complete sentences. He's not fit. He's
What
not
John said?
fit.
I think all three of us can agree that we need a new leader, but we just need a candidate. We need
Well, yeah,
somebody
absolutely. Because you're right. You're
who don't know
Charmaine.
who
You're
they
absolutely right. You're
really
right. We do.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm listen. I looked at Ron DeSantis. Hell, I even look. This is how desperate I am. I mean, I even looked at Adam Schiff. I'm talking. I looked all over the place. Like somebody got to be better than this. And I
Yeah.
ain't talking about just Biden because I'm gonna be the first to say I don't want Trump. So my thing is, I don't want him because at the end of the day, it's like, listen, when we talk about diplomacy and the respect that we have in the, and you wanted me to talk about, no, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that. So what I would do, excuse my language, what I would say, I'm not gonna do that. What I will say, what we have to do in a nutshell is not eliminate a leader. What we have to do is try to find a way within the leadership to try to fix this thing the best way we can. Electing someone else to tear down the same stuff he just built up was not the answer. Yes, I will look at Ron DeSantis all day long because I think at the end of the day, maybe he has something that we haven't seen, and I'm down for that. I'm just saying I don't like Biden, and I'm damn sure not voting for Trump again. So
You
my thing
had no
is,
business.
and I said again, so my thing is that when it comes down to it, and we're gonna fix this thing, we have to do it from the ground up. We just can't start talking about it on the top. Oh yeah, you the man, so you're gonna fix the thing. It's so many things we have to do, and it has to be at the ground level. We got to build this bad boy up from the studs. That's what I'm talking about as far as the economy. I agree with you, Tasha, and your passion. I swear to God, I do. But the thing is that in order for us to do this, it's not just pick yet another person to fix it. No, we got to do this. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
What
What are you talking
Charmaine
about? We
doing?
got to do
What
this.
I'm doing? What are we doing to make our lives better as
Okay,
individuals? And what are we doing? And that's rhetorical. I'm just saying that we have to watch how we spend, watch what we do, all these things, so we can be able to be more fiscally responsible. We just can't keep relying on one particular person to fix all our
that's true.
problems,
That's
or with
very
the
true.
exception of God. But at the end of the day, that and it's a microcosm of what the economy has to do as far as the building that foundation to fix everything. And that's all I'm saying.
That's true. Culture change. So you're talking about
Of
culture
course.
change, but
Yes.
we should have kept Trump in office because what he was doing was working, and we don't want to admit that, whether we like him or not. Presidencies is not about who we like; it's about who's going to solve certain problems that so that everybody benefits, right?
agree.
And so I noticed with Black people, and we've been doing this since Franklin Roosevelt. It's not about policy anymore. It's about emotions. It's about who we like. It's about personality. And if you look at what Trump has done over the past 4 years, he's done more for Black people, prosperity, safety, and security than any other president in history, based on policy and based on how we benefited from that and what you can measure. So even if you don't like him, it's not about whether you like him. It's about when he was in office. Did I see a decrease in crime? Yes, you did. When he was in office, where there's all these decrease in number of Black people getting killed by cops, it was lower than any other president. So we got to start looking at stuff from a different lens than the emotionally charged. I don't like the personality lens. Donald Trump has over 500 businesses that are solvent with low debt ratios. He is very successful, and to be successful, you had to fail a lot. That's what I want to
Okay.
tell the
Well,
other young man.
well,
So,
I would. I'm sorry, Tasha. I swear to God, I didn't mean to
so
interrupt you. I
culture
apologize.
change, culture
But
change.
yeah, but I would also say is listen. I would say as far the culture change. Yes, we can talk about. Listen. What I would tell you is this. I'm not here to talk about Donald Trump. I'm not. And guess what? As much as I don't like him personally,
No,
that
we're
doesn't
going to
mean he
talk
wasn't.
about Donald Trump
That was just saying that's
because
not.
he's the
Just listen
reason
to me.
why
Listen to me.
our
Listen to
culture
me.
is the
Listen to
reason
me.
why we are where we are
Listen to
today
me.
with
Listen to
Biden.
me. I'm
So we're
listen
not
to
going
me.
to dismiss
Are you going to
that.
listen to me, or you want to just go ahead? I mean, if you want to go ahead and have the microphone, do your thing. I'm
But
just saying
if we're
that.
going to have a conversation, we got to be. And
But I was talking.
I'm not trying to keep bringing up Trump. What I'm talking about, culture change, is how we vote, why we choose. Part of the things we have to do is part of our culture is relying on big government, relying on Democrats to create all these regulations and all these programs that drains resources. So it goes that I'm trying to say it goes to culture change. And we had a person who would have shifted us back to where we used to be in America, where we were doing better than whites 100 years ago, when we weren't liberal too so far to the left, where we depend on big government, we depend on people giving us all these different tax burden programs. So that's why I'm trying to say, when I keep talking about Trump, he had a culture that would have brought us right back to the center.
Terms of relevancy, she's not on here to campaign for Trump, although she did vote for Trump, and although she does think that he's a better president than Biden, she's just speaking of him in terms of relevancy and some of the things that he's done to make the country better than what it is now. Like,
That's fine.
Biden took us back. It's like,
Set us back.
you can just
Listen, that's
A, B, C, D. I mean, you can just name thing after thing that has just failed.
absolutely. But what I will also say is this: here's the facts. He's not the president. Biden is. How do we fix it? End of
Culture.
story. I'm not talking about revisionist history about who did what and how they did it. Right now, we got high gas prices. Just like I was telling you before. Yes, politicians talking about what I've done and this and that. Basically, you sound the same thing as like they do, Tasha. Oh, Trump did this, or Biden did that, or these people did this and did that. Yet here we are.
And
Whether
here's
it was,
And we're
that's the
here
problem.
today because
And
of
now,
you guys
I'm
don't
telling you
listen.
why.
That's why
The
we're here. We are
the
today.
why is not the problem. How do we fix it
2
now?
years ago, we was trying
What?
to tell a lot of black people, do not vote for Biden, and that's why we're partly here. We
Okay,
couldn't
so
win the vote without black people.
so listen, the thing is, now we are in, I don't, and to be honest, like, I'm not an economist, so I can't really speak from that. I can only just speak from what I've heard, and then just put that with, my thoughts on it. And I feel like it's not going to turn around. I don't think
It's
gas
not.
are going to go up. I think we're just going to have to hit rock bottom before we can come back and
you know
come back.
what?
We just
You're right, and that's what I was.
all need to embrace ourselves for this recession. Some people say it's already here. Some people say it's a few months from now. But we just need to prepare. And Emery, you were just saying some great things. If you got a job, hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on to your money. Have at least 6 months. I think they say 6 months money saved up. Don't do any reckless spending. I mean, just
Mhm.
all of these things. I mean, but nobody still really has any advice for driving, though. That doesn't help driving, because I mean, you still have to be able to get to your destinations, and it's like you're spending all of your check on gas. And then I mean part of me just feels like, and I know this is wrong, so don't quote me or say she said
Preach, preach,
but I
preach.
but I mean, I just feel like can it just be over? Because like right now, it just
Mm.
feels like a psychology thing. So like, are we going into recession or not? So if we are prepared to go into recession, it's like now people are clamping down. People don't want to spend, and so now businesses and stuff are failing because people are worried. Like, am I going to have income? So it's like the whole psychology component. But then it's like, economically, is it going to happen or what? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's gonna happen, just come on with it, because
Well,
like right now, this whole situation, it just keeps going up, up and up. And what happens when you go up, you gotta come down, you tumble down
Mhm.
sometimes. So I mean, like, I just feel like we just need some type of something, like Biden met with all the oil, the big wigs and stuff today. And I mean, the only really thing that is coming out of that is a gas tax holiday, and I really don't think that that's going to help us, for 3 months. And you drop down prices a little bit. I still don't think that's not enough. That is not enough. So I mean,
no,
they
no, it's
they
not.
really gotta fix this. Like, this is more serious than they're putting it out there. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Well, let me say. You know what? Let me say, Charmaine. I will say this. And listen, I follow this stuff as much as I possibly can. No, I'm not an economist. I'm not, but I'm going to give you my personal opinion. The inflation that we're going through now is literally 40 years overdue. We can go to all the presidents prior to. They were literally fluffing everything to push the inevitable along. This was supposed to happen decades ago. And now we're here, and it took a pandemic, among other things, to bring us here, whether it's mismanagement from the top. or mismanage it from you and me, somehow, some way, housing, gas prices. Think about this. We wouldn't have to worry about gas prices if we had mass transit, right?
Exactly.
We wouldn't have to worry about that if we worked closer to our homes. We wouldn't have to worry about gas prices again, huh? So then property value goes up. That property value goes to education. Education funds the kids of the future. All these things have been pushed along. What they say, kicking the rock down the street or whatever. Around, yeah,
In a
you know what
can
I'm
or
talking
something.
about. Yeah, yeah, kicking the can down. Yeah, and that's what primarily is what's going to happen. So right now, and I know we're running out of time, we're about to close up in a few minutes, but I would say also that this is decades in the making. So this is not just, listen, we can say whoever was the leader, whether it's Clinton or Bush, Obama, uh, Trump or Biden, all of them are complicit because they knew this was going to happen, and they kicked the can down the road until now. Who's going to fix it? And now we're here, grown as hell, trying to figure out. Oh, I got to change my lifestyle. You told me to go spend. You told me to go buy that luxury car. You told me to go buy that house. You told me to go on that vacation. Oh, I
That, and
can't
that.
go on it. Now, to
Hmm.
your point, Tasha, culture change. So all these things are happening right
Right now.
now in real time.
Yep.
Fourth of July
Yep.
weekend is coming up, so it's going to be a lot of people buying gas and traveling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
Mm.
because of COVID, everything's been shut down, and people feeling like cabin fever. So everybody wants to get out and do things. So it's like just spending, spending, spending. Inflation still going up, so that's why I'm just feeling like, like, okay, all this is a ripple effect. Like, okay,
Mhm.
what is going to happen, and what are you doing before that to fix it? Because like I can't live in like this uncertainty. And
They saying recession. I think we're going to be in a depression, and they're not using those terms.
it's
We're
just
going to be in a depression.
it's
It's
just
not a
an
recession.
emergency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. You have any final thoughts, because we are closing out in our final few minutes? Time.
Okay. Yeah, my final thoughts are like Emery said, it's not really about political party. It's about our mindset, our culture, and how, as Black people, we exist in America over these past few decades. And what we do is we're not making the changes we need to make to be sustainable. So if when America do crash, because it's going to have to crash before it rises again, we're
Right.
going to be the first ones impacted by all of this. And so we need to have more policy discussions and all these emotionally charged arguments. We need to start looking at tax policies. You need to be caring at the local level what your Congress people are doing with taxes, and be caring and stop worrying about these personalities.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Emery, what are your closing words?
We have work to do. And it starts not from the top, it starts from us. I think this conversation, I know Jerry was a little animated, and him and Tasha was going back and forth. It was funny, but I understood the passion and the direction. I do. I would say that we all have work to do. We have to fix this stuff, but we have to change our mindset, just like Tasha said, culture change. We have to change our being and how we function as American citizens, and we're buying power and things of that nature. We got to do it a little bit more carefully, and I think we're able to do it.
And on that note, I'm gonna close out this show, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to Nurse Charms Live. Make sure y'all share this video, and make sure you spread the word. And y'all can follow me on all social media channels, Nurse Charms. Thank you, everyone. We out.
Thank you, Nurse Chum. Thank you, Emery.
All
See you
right.
later. Bye
Bye
Good.
bye.
bye.
Okay.